Tahrust TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. In the previous episode, we finally get into the divination seance. We figured out what happened, and a whole other stuff has happened. So check out on the previous episode. So anyways, before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, and your support is greatly appreciated to the channel. So now, let us begin. But first, we must take a short recess to prepare. What the heck? Oh, I just started back. I did not know this. What happened? Well, that's how we started off the episode. What the heck? I was not told of this. What the heck? I was not told we're gonna get into this right away. What the heck? I was not told we're gonna go right into this. What the heck? I'm really back anyway, so. May 12th, High Court of Khura'in accused lobby. Sorry, Maya, but this was the only way. You sure you're up for this?
Thanks for believing in me, Nick. Even though I don't know if my channeling ability is on point yet.
Oh, right. Before she started training here, her success rate was only about 30%. I know you can do it, Maya. At least, I hope she can. So you sure you're ready?
Yeah, at least I think so.
You don't sound so confident. What about all your training?
Training's one thing. Actually doing is another.
Oh, I see. Uh-oh. If she fails to channel the High Priest, we're as good as dead.
Relax, Nick. You can count on me. I'll show you what my training's done for me. This will be a moment you'll never forget.
Okay. I just hope it's unforgettable and in a good way.
Once we hear Abbot Inmee's story, I'm sure the truth will come to light.
I hope so, but he was hiding the fact that he was a rebel, so I doubt it'll be as cut and dried as all that. They are ready for you. Please return to the Hall of Justice at once. Okay, Maya. I'm counting on you.
You got it.
Are we gonna get a cutscene out of this? We haven't had a good cutscene in a while. Can we get a cutscene, please, of her doing it? I guess not. We have received official proof for the accused to channel a spirit here today. Now, if you will, Miss Faye, please proceed.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Here we go. Come on, Maya. I'm counting on you.
I have been studying here in Khura'in for 2 years now, so that one day I will be the master of Khura'in, a village of spirit mediums back home. But first, I shall show you all the fruits of my training in your kingdom.
Wow, she seems really confident.
A neophyte practitioner such as you could not possibly channel a spirit. Okay, your benevolence. How about this? If I succeed, will you stop calling me a neophyte?
Whatever that means.
Very well, if you succeed. Oh, I will. Just you watch. Oh, spirit of trust in me.
You said freaking... Never mind. Make up your mind, woman. Dear Lord! Cross cross-dressing at its finest. What is this place? Oh my!
No! This cannot be!
Pakuka! It's the High Priest. The accused really can channel spirits. Go, Maya.
I do not understand. This cannot be. This simply cannot be. I must step out now before I forget myself.
But
yo, we have no idea what's going on with these names.
Would this be the Twilight Realm? I mean, we already have an old man's voice, so... Would this be a Twilight Realm? And this would be my monk's voice. And what of this? Oh, you freaking... What is this luxurious mane of hair? Is it perhaps a gift from the Holy Mother for decades of faithful service? Abbot Inmee. My. See, you said Abbot. This freaking text says Tahrust. Make up your mind. My, but if it isn't his magistry, have you two shuffled out the mortal coil? You're all seeing that too, right? Please, do not count me among the dead. It is only you who has passed on. Well, the spirit medium Maya Fey has brought you back among us today. Why? Acolyte. Oh, that makes sense. Acolyte Fey. Still, they call it whatever. Has mastered the secret art of spirit channeling. I suppose that explains these gorgeous locks. When I pass from this world, I too hope to be channeled with a full head of hair. Though it be for the briefest of moments. Oh, come on! I give thanks for this splendid coiffure. Praise be to the Holy Mother. However, this kimono is a bit too snug for my taste, if you would excuse me. Oh. Note to self, when you go back, you're a freaking woman when you get back. Please tell me Capcom has censored that part. If there's any sort of censoring here, please tell me it's this part right here. They censor it. Could we get to his testimony now? And I wish he kept his top on. Why, you are that foreign lawyer the people speak of as of late. Is this not the Hall of Justice? Why have I been summoned here? Forgive us for calling you back from your eternal rest. But you have been accused of murder. Might we ask you to testify on your own behalf? That Maya-shaped legs. I have been accused of murder. That is troubling indeed. What's with that crazy pose? Is this really cause for such astonishment? Even the lowliest of monks can achieve such body control with proper training. Oh, I wonder if Albie will be able to do that someday. Will the defense please explain the situation to the High Priest? I'd be happy to. Your disciple, Khura'in Zealot, has been murdered. It happened on the day before the Purification Rite. And the crime occurred in the rebel hideout hidden within the inner sanctum. Acolyte Zealot! He has been killed? Who would do such a thing? Someone who knew of the hideout and had access to the inner sanctum. In other words, you, Abbot Inmee. After all, weren't you secretly a rebel? Oh dear. That's still Maya's body. I hope he doesn't break anything. Wow, the High Priest is amazing. To think he had mastered such an advanced prayer pose. Praise to the Holy Mother! Oh my, have my rebel allegiance been exposed? Not even my wife knew of that. It seems to the rest in peace is not my fate. Why did you, a devout priest of Khura'inism, join the rebellion?
Objection!
The High Priest has come back to us for but a brief time defense. Shall we not cut to the chase and ask the most pressing of questions?
Oh, right.
Abbot Inmee, the prosecution believes the one who slew both you and Acolyte Zealot to be Maya Fey, who have been playing the role of Lady Kira in the Wright.
Being that I was dead until just a moment ago, my memory's a bit hazy.
Could you please do your best to remember?
Objection!
The High Priest says his memory is hazy. It is all coming back to me. It is as the prosecutor mighty concluded. I was slain by none other. Oh, great.
The High Priest's statement has proven my assertion with regards to his murder correct.
No! But what about Acolyte Zealot? You were the one who killed him, weren't you? I know not about my disciple's murder. Furthermore, I have an alibi of my own. An alibi? Seriously? It seems the testimony the defense had been hoping for is working against him. Now, Abbot Inmee, your testimony if you please. Just to let you guys know, once we get to the cross-examination, we're gonna get rid of that one mainly strike we have left, so that way we can start out fresh. Of course. So once we finish the testimony and get to the cross-examination, we'll be cutting at a certain point. Witness testimony. I have an alibi. I have an ironclad alibi for the time during which the murder took place. Just past noon on the day before the riot, I was entertaining guests at my home. Please! And I believe my guests can corroborate this. Who are the guests? You had guests? Just past noon. That's right about the time Zealot was murdered. Are you sure about that? Absolutely. Come to think of it, Rafa told me about a spirit's memory. A spirit's memory is cut off at the moment of the death. So even a spirit that is brought back after centuries doesn't seem any gap in time. Between the moment it's death and the moment it's channeled? Yes, and yet, it clearly recalls all the memories it had in life. The High Priest seems to know exactly what he's talking about. So the question is, what would be the best angle of attack? Pressing him on. But yeah, we're gonna get rid of that strike we have, and then we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's unprofessional, but let's just get rid of that. Okay, we're finally back where we're supposed to be. We got all 5 strikes, so we're now back at it again. Have an ironclad during the time. We had 3 things, so we have no other choice but to press on. That's all we can do.
Hold it!
You use the word alibi as if it were the second nature. Are you perhaps mocking me? Or is it perhaps the kingdom of Khura'in itself you wish to ridicule? Oh, great! Peace! What have I done? Would you care to clarify your last statement? Please, don't take it the wrong way. It's just alibi is a rather technical term for a priest to use it so naturally. I assure you, I know how to use the term. In fact, I had even hoped for a chance to do so one day. I suppose that even I, a high priest, am not immune to such trivial worldly attachments. Oh, I see. Still, he seemed unusually calm and composed. It's almost as if he had prepped himself for something like this. Okay.
Hold it!
Guests? And you were entertaining them personally? With his fake flexibility right here and there. That I was! We gathered around the table for a most enjoyable conversation. He said his guests could corroborate his alibi. That can be good for our case. But who are the guests? Are you sure that was the same day as the murder? Maybe you misremembered. Cut
Ah! Do not doubt my mnemonic faculties. Wouldn't mnemonic be P, not M? I may have died, but my memories up to the point are crystal clear. Sorry. He's pretty thin-skinned for a priest. Well, I guess I should have known better than to doubt his memory. Hint, hint. A spirit's memory is cut off at the moment of death. So even a spirit that is brought back after centuries doesn't sense any gap in time? A spirit that is brought back after centuries doesn't sense any gap in time between the moment of its death and the moment it's channeled. Yes, and yet it clearly recalls all of the memories it had in life. There has to be a hint to that one. Ah, there's nothing better than enjoying cuisine with dear friends. That way, everyone's breath becomes equally malodorous. Right.
Hold it!
And who exactly were your guests that day? Don't tell me they were rebels so they can't be called here to testify. It was none other than his majesty, along with his family. He couldn't attend the Wright due to work, so he stopped by ahead of time. My, how his daughter has grown. Wait a second.
Let me set the record straight right now. I am not a rebel. Thank you for that wonderful meal, Abbot Inmee. Lady Inmee's cookies simply cannot be beat.
So, there you have it. When exactly was His Majesty at your home? He was there from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Indeed, precisely the time period within which Acolyte Zealot was slain.
Yes, and we had a rousing chat concerning the game
whatever that meant. But
I'll just have that added to the testimony. After all, it was I who visited the High Priest's home.
My guests that day were His Majesty and his family. They visited from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Hold it!
Your Majesty, are you sure this testimony is completely accurate?
Sure as sure can be. Oh, how wonderful it is to finally have my actions to be admissible to events and in court.
His Majesty was at my home during the exact time period of the murder. Come, let us put this behind us. I could not have possibly committed this crime.
How can you be so sure? What if the clock or watch you were using was off, or you misread the time? There was a clock right near the table, and it had the exact same time as my watch.
Now, do you understand, lawyer? As you can see, my alibi is airtight. Or do you still think I could have killed Acolyte Zealot? His Majesty's a witness. Are you satisfied now? There is not a single discrepancy in Abbot Inmee's alibi. If I give up now, it's all over. Now, hold on a second. Is there anything wrong with the High Priest's testimony? There is. There is a discrepancy in the High Priest's testimony.
There is? Well then, perhaps you can explain what it might be.
This is what was wrong with his testimony. The prayer feast was short. He's too friendly with the judge. He knew the time of the crime. Prayer feast. No, that is not it. That is not it. We lost it.
Objection!
That is not it. I was staying because it's something about the food. It was the food that he was suggesting. Welp. One down. Because the thought process right there is the food. That was my thought process. Right there. There is a problem. A big one. He knew the time of the crime. After Abbot Inmee was channeled, no one ever stated that what time Acolyte Zealot was murdered.
Now that you mention it. Despite that, you claim to have an alibi from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. That means you knew that Acolyte Zella was dead when you were still alive! Ah! Whoa! Wait, I think I saw something just now. No, I must be imagining things. Oh, like I said, once he's done with their spirit, he has to put her clothes back on. So tell me, how did you know what time the crime had been committed? About that, open your heart, let the Holy Mother in. Why, we've been blessed with the High Priest's sacred words of prayer. All who serve her holiness must strive to banish worldly desires from their soul. Open your heart. Oh, great. Purge your mind of greed and bias. I feel as if my very soul has been cleansed. You can't fool me. Prayer may banish worldly desires, but it can't make a contradiction disappear. Oh, great. His Holy Painess has something to say. How can you be so sure? What's that supposed to mean? This lawyer seems to think little of the power of the Khura'in's prayer. Huh? I bet Inmee was at home during the crime but knew of what happened at the hideout. I believe this can be explained thusly. He must have had a way to monitor the hideout from his home. What? You never cease to amaze me, prosecutor. As he has surmised, there was a listening device installed at the hideout. It enabled me to instantly learn of anything unusual, even when I was not there. Remember, the rebels had been using this as a top-secret hideout. It would be perfectly natural for them to install such apparatus. Wait, come to think of it, when I was searching the rebel hideout, what was I looking? Huh? There's something under the banner. Oh, there was! A microphone? What's this doing here? Was someone trying to record something with it? That was a listening device. It starts recording whenever it detects movement. And I heard just a recording after His Majesty and his family left. If you look into the desk in my study, you will find the tape in question. Alright then, bailiff! Yes, your majesty. Go retrieve the tape in question from the High Priest's home. At once, your majesty. Once he's getting it, let me go turn off the light. The power of the Khura'in's prayer. Even a putrid brain such as yours should understand it now. It's like that contradiction really did vanish. We shall ascertain the content of the recording once we have tape. In the meantime, I would ask Inmee to continue with this testimony. What else is there? Oh, I think we're halfway there. Very well. Another one. Another one. I heard everything. I was entertaining His Majesty and his family when the crime occurred. When I listened to the tape later, I heard a man and woman quarreling. It sounded like an altercation between Acolyte Zella and Acolyte Faye. After that, there was a loud noise, followed by haunting silence. I have to find some way to attack his alibi. If only Maya were here. She has a way of putting me at ease. But seeing her like this is only creeping me out. Though the High Priest was a rebel, he was still a Khura'in's holy man. Therefore, take care in your questioning, lest you invoke the eerie of our people. As if this wasn't hard enough already. Nice try, but I'll stop at nothing to find the truth. Here we go. Round 2. Okay, we have nothing to press on. I was entertaining his magistrate and his family when the crime occurred. That's the truth. When I listened to the tape later, I heard a man and woman quarreling. It sounded like altercation between Acolyte Zed and Acolyte Faye. After that, there was a loud noise followed by haunting silence.
Hold it!
Hold on! Are you sure about those voices? Was it really Acolyte Zella and Miss Faye? I'd say that was the most reasonable conclusion under these circumstances. Or perhaps Acolyte Faye has an alibi that you can prove. I'm afraid not. Then I suggest you make like a mollusk and clam up. Now, I will continue my testimony, if I may. Then we press on this.
Hold it!
A loud noise? I say that's worth looking into. It was a terrible crashing sound. Poor Acolyte Zella. It must have felt so heavy. It must have been the sound of that stone slab falling over. I should have added that to the statement to his testimony. Have him add it. Please add that statement to your testimony. As you wish. I would describe that noise as a terrible crash. Poor Zella, it must have felt so heavy.
Hold it!
You believe that terrible crash is connected to Acolyte's death? Yes, the sound, no doubt, was poor Zealot's death knell. Such a tragedy, for he was a fine disciple. I would ask all here today to give him a prayer for his departed soul. I can't even say that. Sushure matame yoma, sushure matame yoma. I had high hopes for that young man's future. Oh, great. Why do I feel like such a jerk for just trying to do my job right now? So all he knows about the crime is what he heard on the tape. And he was with his magistrate and his family at the time. Now that I have proven the soundness of my alibi, I believe it is about time for me to return to the Twilight Realm. What's the rush? Why not enjoy some more time among the living? I better find a way to attack his alibi soon. I'll just have to press harder and hope. Then we have no other choice to press the other two then, right?
Hold it!
And just see where this goes. You were entertaining his majesty. Okay, so she has an alibi, huh? Why yes, she was in the kitchen cooking up a storm the entire time. Come to think of it, I don't think I saw her at all that day. That's why I'm suggesting that she's the murderer! She takes her culinary duties most seriously, you see. That is why she was in the kitchen cooking without the pots the entire day. So the judge never saw Miss Inmee. Should I have evidence? That's why I'm suggesting it's the freaking wife! Please add the statement to your testimony. As you wish. My wife, believe, was in the kitchen cooking the entire time.
Hold it!
What was your wife making that day? The menu that day featured hot and spice and melted malt. They are both traditional Khura'in dishes. I can't even begin to imagine what those are. Ah, yes. The exquisite zest of hot and spice and the supreme texture of molten malt. Lady Inmee's cooking that day was utterly unforgettable. Thank you. It brings me great joy to know you enjoyed your meal. Now, once his majesty and his family had left, and that's where we press on this.
Hold it!
You heard everything from a recording? Indeed. Each night I would secretly check what the listening device had recorded. I would have been in serious trouble with my lovely wife had she discovered my secret. Can you really tell what happened by the audio alone? Long years of ascetic training have sharpened my hearing. It is but a simple matter for me to ascertain a situation by the sounds I hear. Practicing Khura'in improves your hearing? Hearing is but one of the senses it can improve. If one can focus and attain inner peace, all five senses can be sharpened. Why, the warbot over in the bazaar just cried, did you not hear it? Give me a break! Give me a break. Mr. Wright. Do you still feel the need to question the High Priest? This alibi is tight as can be.
This isn't going so well. I better ask him about something else.
I'm curious. Did you stop by the rebel hideout after His Majesty left?
Yes, I thought it would be wise to assess the situation. But as said before, there was nothing to see. The hideout appeared as it always had.
And the victim's body?
It was nowhere to be found. Acolyte Faye must have been already disposed of it, and anything else incriminating.
So when you saw the rebel hideout, it looked like it does in the photo?
Yes, I would say that is how it appeared that day.
So the stone slab had been pulled back in place. Mr. Wright, is it not time to concede defeat?
No, wait, I just need a little more time.
If you insist.
What else is there? We're back again, once again, to where we started. My wife, I believe, was in the kitchen cooking the entire time. I listened to tape. I heard a woman quarreling. It sounded like altercation between acolytes. After that, there was a loud noise followed by a haunting silence. I would describe the noise as a terrible crash. It must have been thought heavy.
I'm thinking I have to show the photo or the statue, so let me check. Let's see. Remaining statement, rebel hideout photo, statement 6, the photo.
Objection!
Abbot Inmee, you said, and I quote, "Poor zealot, it must have felt so heavy." Why do you think he felt something heavy? You said the hideout looked like it did in this photo. If so, there's nothing that would lead you to believe that he had experienced a heavy feeling. The fact is, of course, a stone slab did fall over Acolyte Zealot, impaling him on the warbot statue behind him. But that was only revealed through her benevolence divination seance earlier. Would defense please get to the point? My point is, simply hearing a crashing sound shouldn't have automatically led him to conclude the victim was crushed to death. Still don't see your point. I'm saying that the High Priest knew! He knew the victim was really killed. Why? And that is information only the real killer could have known.
I definitely saw at that time. I've got the High Priest spirit shaking in his boots, or should I say sandals.
Need I remind you, Abbot Inmee was with His Majesty at the time of the crime. Such an alibi precludes him from being the killer. That's true, so he can't be the killer. However, he knew how Zealot was killed. Something only the killer could know. Can this discrepancy be resolved somehow? Well, Mr. Wright, we're waiting for an explanation. I was just game to that. Time to think of something quick. The High Priest knew something only the killer could have known because he heard during the trial, he inferred it after the fact, he heard it from the real culprit. I don't know that. How can he hear it during the trial? That's impossible. What is the other option? He heard it from the true murderer. Let's go. He must have heard how the victim died from the real killer.
The real killer?
Of course, that makes perfect sense. I don't want to believe it, but this is the only possible explanation. So tell us, who is this real killer? It's gotta be someone close to the High Priest, someone without an alibi. And I'm suggesting it's the freaking wife! I'm suggesting it's the wife. I'm suggesting it's the wife from day one, A1.
Take that!
Your Majesty, while you were visiting the High Priest's home, you didn't see Miss Inmee at all, did you?
No, I never saw her, but what does that have to do with anything?
Did the High Priest ever leave your sight?
No, we were talking the entire time, and the food was brought right to the room's entryway.
So, the High Priest had an ironclad alibi. But his wife does not! What the devil are you insinuating? I'm insinuating that Miss Inmee might have killed Acolyte Zealot!
Objection.
You have a lot of nerve making such a baseless allegation. She had no motive to kill Acolyte Zealot. He was like family to her. No, we can't entirely discount the idea. Especially if you consider that Miss Inmee could have been the one posing as Lady Kita.
Objection.
Even a fool must temper his foolishness at times. Or do you truly believe Lady Kita will kill Acolyte Zealot though he was not a rebel?
Objection.
As we all know, the High Priest was secretly a rebel. It would follow that his favorite disciple could very well be a rebel too.
Are you suggesting that Miss Inmee killed her husband as well?
As sad as it is to think, she killed her own husband to rid the kingdom of rebels. That's what I was insinuating in the previous episodes. I don't think we can rule it out. Hold it. Oh, it's a deep voice. Great.
Yikes!
You claim my wife is that rebel hunting Lady Kita, and that she slew both Zella and myself? My lovely wife, that is utterly impossible! I know it's a deep voice, but still.
Yikes! I've never seen the High Priest so angry.
It is as Abbot Inmee stated, and the accused has already been found guilty of his murder. It is far too late to overturn it.
That's right, Mr. Wright. Now apologize to the good priest before he gets angry again. Quickly now.
No, I'm not going to apologize. The true identity of Lady Kita is a major piece to the trial's puzzle. Admit it, Abbot Inmee. Your wife, Lady Kita, Lady Inmee, killed you. Yet even now, you continue to lie in an effort to protect her. Hold it. How absurd! It appears that the lawyer has forgotten. My lovely wife could not possibly battle the rebels in the guise of Lady Kita. For we were blessed by her holiness, and she is with child, praised by the Holy Mother. Yeah, that's what I was insinuating before in the previous episode ago, because like, while I was suggesting that she was Lady Kita, I forgot that she was pregnant too, so. I completely forgot about that. That abominable Lady Kita figure who slew me and Acolyte Zealot was the accused. This is bad. I can't give up now. Don't forget, my client doesn't have the strength to fight rebels either. How could a weak young woman like her possibly? Yeah, we know. You foolish oaf of a lawyer. If only you were as blessed as Lady Inmee. What? Surely the accused possessed the strength, or should I say the power. The power to battle those black-hearted rebels. What are you talking about? My good prosecutor, I see you have come to the same conclusion as I. Such keen insight. Then you have figured it out as well, Abbot Inmee. May I ask you to explain to this putrid-brained lawyer? Certainly, for I cannot control him to frame my lovely wife for murder. Foreign devil! Your Majesty, allow me to testify as how Maya faced the murderous Lady Kita.
Well,
Testimony Maya faced Lady Kita. Oh great, we still got more to go. I think we'll be ending up today's episode right here, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll come back to him again next episode. So anyways, make sure to hit that like button, comment performance. If you're new, if you'd like to see, subscribe button, Destructors XTV, and I'm signing out.